Welcome back to Factory 85 Labs. Today we're going to talk about pocket first aid kits or EDC first aid kits, kind of my take on a pocket first aid kit and what's inside the kit. So this will be the second video in a short series of videos about first aid and first aid kits. If you missed the first one, just click up there in the corner. There will be a link to it or down in the video description. If you want to make sure you see the rest of these videos, make sure you have clicked that subscribe button. And as always, these are just my opinions, and this is not medical advice. There are a lot of bugs around these lights. So these kits are what I call an EDC first aid kit, or a pocket first aid kit, or maybe a backpack or diaper bag first aid kit. This is a kit for when we're at the mall, we're at the park, we're shopping, hanging out with friends. This is a kit for when we are close to a higher level of care, we have relatively quick access to other care, and there are other people around who can help in an emergency. Like with all EDC gear, I want to prioritize and be practical and carry only the things that I am going to need or that I am likely to need or likely to use. There are always priorities in first aid. If someone is bleeding out of an artery, you should address that before you take care of the nasty looking sunburn that they have. There are a lot of acronyms and ways to help people remember what the priorities are in giving first aid. If you've ever taken a CPR class, then you probably learned the a.b.c.s, airway, breathing, circulation. But there are a lot of other acronyms. a.b.c, that's simple. That's like toddler level, that's Disney news broadcast level. It goes way beyond that. a.b.c, a.b.c.d, a.b.c.d.e, that's with one E, two E's, three E's, or four E's, a.b.c.d.e.f, a.b.c.d.e.f.g, lowercase c after the A in any of those. There's also doctor, ABC, because all you nurses know doctors wanted to feel important too. There's doctors, ABCD, March, because everybody already knew their alphabet. There are a lot of acronyms. Whatever acronym you choose to remember, they're all answering or same basic questions. Is it safe for me to help this person? Do they have any major bleeding injuries? Is their heart beating? Are they breathing? And are there any other observable injuries or things going on? And for me, I add a sixth question. Is this my child with a scraped knee? Because often that appears more life-threatening than a lot of major trauma, at least to them. So now that we've memorized an acronym, so that we know how to prioritize our first aid, let's take a look at what's actually in this little pocket kit. First of all, the case this is a makeup case that I bought at a dollar store many, many years ago, and then I Sharpied across on there. Very, very high tech. So let's take a look in here. First things in here is a pair of gloves and a CPR mask. Anytime I'm dealing with bleeding of any kind, or pretty much anything, I want to put on a pair of gloves. Got another little bag. This one has a variety of things in it. Some alcohol prep pads, alcohol swabs in there. And then it has some medications. So ibuprofen and an antacid. Some Imodium or antidiarrheal, some generic brand Benadryl, and some generic Kirkland brand Dayquil, basically. Any medication that's in a first aid kit, I like it to be in some type of packaging and it has the dose marked on it. That's very important. These are to address just some common problems. Antidiarrheal is pretty obvious. Headaches, feeling crappy, heartburn, and 1 dose of Benadryl. This is just to give immediately when an allergic reaction starts, to hopefully stop it before it gets out of control. Also, I like carrying an antacid or some sort of heartburn medication to give with Benadryl if there is some sort of a severe allergic reaction, just to cover as many H1 receptors or H2 receptors as possible. So what else is in here? I like putting everything in Ziploc bags because I can look at the bag and I can see what's inside really easily. I like putting a lot of first aid kits just in a Ziploc bag too. This other bag has got 4x4 gauze pads, large bandages, steri strips, about 5 feet of tape, and a few smaller, more standard size bandages. Last thing that's in this kit, kind of clipped on the side, are a couple of safety pins. Safety pins are great for just a variety of things. Holding clothes together if you tear some clothing, getting a sliver out when you're at the park. Safety pins are just really useful for all sorts of minor emergencies. If you're really brave, you could use them as a suture. Alright guys, that is my version of a pocket first aid kit. It's very simple, very, very basic. It is not trauma treatment if I am in a mall or at a crowded restaurant. I'm not going to do trauma care in that setting. I'm just going to control the situation long enough to get that person to a higher level of care. Otherwise, I'm putting band-aids on a skinned knee, giving Benadryl to my wife when she has an allergic reaction to some sort of soap or shampoo, when we walk by it in the store, or taking antidiarrheals when you eat the wrong tacos at the gas station. Leave me a comment down below this video. Let me know your thoughts about EDC first aid kits. Do you carry any first aid stuff with you when you go out? Do you have anything that you put in your pocket? What do you think about this first aid kit? Do you think this is enough? Is it too much? Is it reasonable? Is this something that you would do? If you enjoyed this video, click on that little like button. Next first aid video will be looking at a first aid kit from my car. So a bigger first aid kit that goes on road trips and just generally rides around in the back of the car. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll talk a little more about medications to go in the first aid kit as well. So stay tuned for that. Click subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and we will see you next time. You can click right up there to see another video. You can click down here to see another video. You can click that little button up in the corner there to subscribe if you're not subscribed.